Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Major Alex Rubin. I'm the Acting Administrative Commanding Officer of the 41st Battalion, where we are proud to say Corporal Herbie Singy Harbans Singh was a proud member. I will start with military tradition and say that 236122 Corporal Harbans Singh joined the Australian Defence Force on the 13th of November in 1981. At the time, we had an assault pioneer platoon which had recently moved from Kyogle here to Murwillumbah, and he enlisted into the role of assault pioneer. And for those who don't know, an assault pioneer is equivalent to an engineer. They are responsible for small boat craft, they're responsible for tools, fixing problems, creating obstacles, and assisting soldiers with the support functions when they go into a battlefield. Now, we're going back into a period where the electronic records don't actually live for your father and the work he did. So I've had to, like you, go through the living memory of the association and go back through the archive records to find out about your father and the legacy that he left on the region, but more importantly, the whole of the Australian Defence Force. Herbie Singy, as we affectionately call each other by our surnames, was known as a soldier who could fix anything. He could solve any problem, be it with tools or be it with words. And I will counter what you've said about your father was a man of few words, because in the Defence Force he said quite a lot, and he was well heard when he did. But for all the good work he did in defence and all of the friendships which he had, which still endure, and some of the members of the association are here today to acknowledge his passing, he left a legacy on defence, which I thank you for touching on, in the same way he did through the Commonwealth work in his work with rail. He changed the Australian Defence Force policy, but more importantly, he changed our understanding and our social integration, which right now, at a time when social cohesion in Australia is strained, he leaves a legacy of bringing people together. So what is not widely known, and the records of it seem to be lost to the history of time, Corporal Singh wrote several responses through to the commander of the 2nd Training Group, demanding that he address the inequality within the Australian Defence Force. And he fought for the right for his faith and his beliefs to be incorporated in his service. And that is the traditional beard, which, as you see, I am clean-shaven, but there are exceptions now granted, for the wearing of a turban and also the ceremonial knife. He was the first person in the Australian Defence Force, all three services, 100,000 people, and a legacy that spanned before him of nearly 90 years, to have his faith recognised. So much to the point that he actually designed how the turban would be worn, and if you look upon the picture behind me, you'll see that the unit crest is borne on the right-hand side, which is something he made up. But that tradition now carries forward. And every Sikh is able now to be unshaven to the length of their beard, demanding the position of their faith, and also to wear the turban. Now, what's also interesting in some of the stories you told about kangaroo exercises, Singy, and I respectfully say that as he was acknowledged in the military, he also gave lessons. And one of the stories that was recalled and passed to me was he taught people how to wear the turban. And I quote, "It is the most complex and nimble-fingered approach I've ever seen for anyone who applies a headdress." And this is talking to people who fix things for a living. So Singy was not only a corporal and a leader in his own right in the Australian Defence Force, he was a proud Sikh, and he was a man who made change. Positive change in a legacy that remains today in the Australian Defence Force. And I'm very proud to say that I serve in a battalion where a man of such standing bears his roots in our society. And I thank you very much for the opportunity to remember the passing of one of our great soldiers and acknowledging the legacy he left for us all. Thank you.